Ooh, it's galactic.
Yeah, I've been working a lot on that. Actually, let me take our names down. Brand. That way it doesn't block us any. But I'm working on, my next thing I work on is the actual background here to get rid of the Trickle Up old logo and put the new logo on there and all that bullshit. And that's next. um, but yeah, guys, thanks for joining us, man. We're live and we're gonna talk about a couple of things. First thing we're gonna talk about is the U.S. Customs and Border Protection has seized thousands of false COVID-19 vaccine cards from China in Memphis, Tennessee. So that's fun. And then Biden administration approves record permanent jump in food stamps. I'm very interested in this. Computer model of civilization offers routes to ending global warming. So those are the three right off the top. And then there's one other one I was wanting to see if we can fit in also would be about the two parties don't represent the majority of Americans. For the first time ever, 50% of Americans identify as independent.
I didn't see that was an article. I thought it was just a tweet.
It is a tweet, but there is
a linked article.
Wait, is there? Oh, shit. Maybe there's not. It says it's a Gallup poll. I have to find that.
Yeah, we'll want the source if we're going to talk about it for sure.
Yeah, let me look up.
Shay likes your background, or Shy.
Yeah.
I actually know somebody who goes by Shay who spells their name the same way. So
okay.
It's harder for me to, I know better, but she made it really easy for me to remember too, because she actually has Shy in quotes on her Twitter profile, if I'm correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, where is this at? 2019, 2021? Is it the one from April? Let me see here. No, that's the one I was thinking of. Damn it. Maybe we can't talk about it. I can't find the thing. Oh, well.
It's true, nevertheless.
Yeah. Yeah, I did work on this new background. It's a lot of fun working on this shit. It's time consuming as hell. Like I said, next up is the whole layout here. I'm going to try and set that up so it'll have a little better flow to it. But yeah, so let's go ahead and just jump into this first one about the fake news of COVID vaccine passports. All right, you ready, Mia?
Sure, why not? Let's go.
All right. Let me see. How's it gone? I don't even remember, man. It's been a while. Oh yeah. Let's see if we can change some minds tonight. What's up first on the low for us, Mia?
Well, tonight we're going to talk about how the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CBP, has seized thousands of falsified COVID-19 vaccine cards from China in Memphis, Tennessee. Some cities across the U.S. have begun to mandate proof of vaccinations via vaccine cards in restaurants, theaters, and indoor businesses. The newest requirements by localities were driven in part by the spread of the Delta variant, which can cause breakthrough infections. Although the majority of those with breakthrough infections have reported milder symptoms with the vaccine. Border Patrol agents have seized over 3,017 falsified cards confiscated, according to statements from the agency. The crates are being shipped from China, and Memphis processes hundreds of them a night. The shipments are commonly labeled paper greeting cards, use for greeting card, and paper card in all caps. The fake cards have the Center for Disease Control and Prevention logo, along with blank lines to fill in information. There are multiple ways to tell these cards are fake, like that they aren't imported from a medical facility, and also they often include typos and misspelled Spanish verbiage on the back. If you do not wish to receive a vaccine, that is your decision. But don't order a counterfeit, waste my officers' time, break the law, and misrepresent yourself, CBP officers at the area port of Memphis remain committed to stopping counterfeit smuggling and helping to protect our communities. But just know that when you order a fake Vax card, you are using my officers' time as they also seize fentanyl and methamphetamines, commented Area Port Director Memphis Michael Niepert, if I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big thing. They've only found them in Memphis so far.
But here's the big thing, guys. This is a crime. If you get a fake COVID vaccine card and you use it to enter an establishment, and it's like a fake piece of money as well, it's counterfeit. So it says in the article that falsifying the vaccine card is a crime that lands someone a fine and 5 years of prison time. So the reason it's being found in Memphis because it is a major hub for the screening process, but it won't take long for this shit to spread far and wide, just like kind of like a stupid idea. So I like the fact they kind of shared some of the easy typos to find about, card or whatever the hell it was, like repetitious words and things that weren't spelled right in Spanish, which most Americans wouldn't catch in the first damn place. But it just goes to show you the links these people go through to not be a part of society and then try to be a part of society. So like either you're going to participate with our civilized societies trying to keep everybody safe. I mean, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. And I really understand people's frustration about why should we keep masking if we got our vaccines and stuff like that and protect the idiots and da-da-da. This is Darwin's award and this and that. But it's not about those people. It's really about the people that can't take the vaccine that are have adverse reactions or compromised immune systems that can't really are allergic to some of these products. But
my real question though, is these people are clearly ordering these fake vaccine cards from China.
Mm-hmm.
Don't they have a problem with China?
Of all places,
are they concerned that we might find traces of bamboo in the Vax cards?
Bamboo. Yeah, we're gonna hire the same company to look for bamboo. Yeah, and oh, hey, Carnage has. She was crazy to think these people getting fake Vax cards are the same people who hate immigrants using fake papers. Ooh, very true. Well, it's always the kettle calling the pot black, right? When it comes to this type of talking points, my choice, my body, unless it's a baby. It's my choice, my body, unless it counters their narrative. Period. But yeah, it's really a shame that these people will go through so much headache and risk everything, including their life and their freedom now, to not take a vaccine. And I'm looking forward to when the FDA approves it, just so they can shut the hell up about that weak ass talking point.
It's literally meaningless.
Well, I saw a pretty funny thing where they said when Viagra first came out, were you complaining about it not being FDA approved, or were you using it first? Those same politicians were popping those Viagras like nobody's business. Bunch of limp ass representatives they are. And now they're crying FDA approval. So whatever. Again, it's inconsistent.
Beautiful example.
That's right. Think about it. We put millions of dollars into research for erectile dysfunction. Meanwhile, people are starving to death and going homeless.
That's absolute insanity.
Flaccid white people are more important than homeless people, apparently, and starving people and people with disabilities, and yeah. And well, I also heard that if more places are going to demand or require these for entry, and now they're going to require they're suggesting a third dose for the immunocompromised to kind of help them get an extra boost, I guess. But they're going to be more people putting those people in danger, and those are the people that can take the vaccine. Then you got the ones that cannot take it, and those are the ones that are the highest risk of having a fatality. And that's what's just not fair.
Well, Like I've told you before, I'm not going to be able to get Tristan vaxxed.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Not
Yeah,
going to work out.
Without knocking them out,
Mm-hmm.
Twice.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's at least twice, right? Because we might end up with boosters, and every time you knock somebody out, every time you use anesthesiology, I'm sure you know that's not really. It's not where you want to be going for your getting a shot and then leaving. It's not an outpatient procedure in that sense. I mean, it is and it isn't, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but things can get really dangerous coming out of anesthesia too with someone that's not really capable of understanding why. That's the big. I feel horrible for you, Mia, because I know you're going through shit like that, and and now you are, a prisoner of your own home when it comes to this type of stuff. Where you're like, okay, is it worth the risk?
Oh, we definitely don't. He does not leave unless like where it's going to be an open space, and because he won't wear a mask. So,
right. Yeah,
and we weren't able to leave really at all. Like even when it was at its height, like I wouldn't take him to a park.
Right.
I can't trust that he's not going to run over, see a kid that he likes the lollipop of, try to steal it out of their hand and lick it.
Yeah.
That's just, I can't guarantee it won't happen. It's not likely, but it could.
Yeah. Yeah, it's rough, man. So we need people to just I mean, we can say to a face, just do the right thing, man. Just it's so much easier just to get it than to go through all this fuss and literally risk your money, your freedom, and possibly your life or everyone around you's life, people you care about, your actual family, your coworkers, which is your fake family environment that the corporations want you to think your family, but yeah, it's just pathetic. It really is. And so just be on the lookout for this garbage. And I hope employers are able to get the proper resources to kind of filter the bullshit out. But here's the problem. If you have an employee that doesn't agree with it, they're not going to enforce it either. So you got a real culture war going on here. Fake vaccine passport or not. If same thing with police officers. If they don't want to enforce it, they're not going to.
Yeah. The thing I liked about this story overall is it kind of hits all the points of what's going on with COVID right now. Like it gives you just like a really brief understanding of how terrible the situation is on every front.
Yeah, and this article, just so you guys know, is from The Hill. We will have the links in the description box below if you guys want to read more about it. It gives you some more numbers. It's like over 3,000 cards were seized?
Yes.
3,017 falsified cards from China. So it is kind of ironic. They go to China for this. Oh, and if it's happening in China, is the CCP behind making the cards? Is this a form of warfare? I could see that.
Most likely it's just, greedy knockoffs knowing that they can make a quick buck off of idiots. That's
the big thing. I hope they figure out who made them and who ordered them and who paid for them and who should be responsible for distribution of illegal paraphernalia. It's just like a drug dealer. If you're making the meth, you should be in more trouble than actually someone using the meth.
Well, kind of like if you got caught making a fake driver's license or any other, proof of something that's supposed to be like legal.
Yes. Well, not just legal, but endangering others. Physically endangering others. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm sure we're gonna have a court case coming in the next few months of one of these fucking morons using them. So I'll be interested to see what happens, man. And you guys let us know what you think about that in the comment section, because this is gonna be an interesting article. Again, we'll revisit this one because I'm sure we're gonna have court cases where people get caught with fake COVID cards or some bullshit, vaccine cards. So I don't know, man. But let us know what you guys think about this in the comments section. And while you're here, of course, get a video like, hit subscribe if you haven't done it before, ring notification bells, get alerts for upcoming videos. And like always, go read a book. Boom. All right. That's one.
The next two are much more lighthearted because I felt like that one, because it was like such a dense amount of, wow, that's bad news.
Well, the food stamps are great news ones. Yes, I like this. But I really do think we're going to have to revisit this in another couple months, where it's going to be, those are the ones they found. And then people have printers. They're gonna have a PDF formats. They're gonna make these stupid dark corners of the internet where they're gonna have fake COVID passports printed out, and all you gotta do is sign it with a fake signature.
Oh my gosh, they're gonna brand it the COVID railroad.
Yeah,
it's I know it. They're gonna do or something equally self-victimizing and belittling of some other heritage's actual struggle.
Yeah, exactly. Co-opting an actual travesty, really. But yes, let's move on to some good news. So there's actually more help for people. Again, I'm thoroughly impressed with Joe Biden for not thoroughly. I'm happy with this decision he's made. Not thoroughly, not yet. Andrew Yang would make me thoroughly happy if he actually got stuff done, but Joe Biden's doing what he can. Whatever, fuck him. But yeah, moving on. All right, guys. So Joe Biden, yes. What's up next? Wait, that's not right. Let's see if we can change some more minds tonight, Mia. What's up next on the low?
Well, the Biden-ness.
Yep.
The Biden-ness. It's the amount of Biden that exists. It's the Biden-ness.
Oh.
It's right. The level of Biden by,
It's an overdose.
Yes. It's booster shots of Biden. Okay. The Biden administration approved record. I'm going to add a letter into there because I'm not going to read that right that way.
There you go.
Okay. The Biden administration approved a record permanent jump in food stamps. Millions of Americans. I'm not hitting every word today. It's like I'm skipping letters.
Yeah.
Okay. Breathe. Think.
No biggie.
Centers and okay. Millions of Americans will see their food stamp benefits permanently increased by a record amount later this year. The Biden administration is expected to announce the new rules on Monday, and they are set to take effect in October. The average monthly benefits are slated to increase by $36 from a pre-pandemic average of $121, or about 25%. The change does not require a sign-off from Congress and will pertain to all of the more than 40 million people who receive these benefits, officially called the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or for us on it, SNAP.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is basically just yummy free food. Happy good food.
Yes.
I'm happy about this one. I really am. It is a long time coming because we have not had an adjustment to this other than for inflation since 1962.
Whoa, really? Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. One thing about
not a single adjustment.
Well, there's 40 million people who receive the benefits. And unfortunately, the SNAP program does exclude people that should otherwise qualify. There should be more people being taken care of, but 40 million is still, it's about 15% of this country that needs this, and even more, probably another 15% more could use it that actually probably would qualify for it. It says the change here
I'm a firm believer that.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm a firm believer in universality for pretty much every program. Like, yeah. I think that there should be a basic amount of food that you're entitled to have as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Just as much as I feel like there's a basic amount of cash you should be entitled to have as a human being.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they don't provide the food, provide more cash. Just the way it is, one or the other. But in this article, it also says that the change is based upon the Department of Agriculture's made to the Thrifty Food Plan, which outlines nutritional goals for Americans. The framework suggests how much money each family can spend on a number of food groups to achieve a healthy diet. Congress in 2018 passed a law ordering a review of the plan, which the Biden administration asked the Department of Agriculture to accelerate upon taking office. According to the Times, the weekly cost for this plan jumps from $159 to $193 for a family of 4. 3/4 of families use their food stamps well within the first 2 weeks. Oh, wait, so this is only per month?
Oh, yes. Only per month. Like, imagine living on that, because I have.
That's not enough for a family of 4? A family of 4 get less than 200. Let's just say $200. That's $50 a week for 4 people. Boy, that's...
Yeah, sometimes with dietary restrictions.
Yeah, imagine being diabetic or have what's that? I'm trying to think of Crohn's disease or something. You can't have certain foods that inflame your bowels or whatever. Like you said, dietary restrictions where it can get quite expensive, and you can't afford to eat healthy foods because it's too expensive.
Yep.
Man. Well, it is an increase, but it's still not enough.
No, it is not enough.
It's little bites. It should be more. But like you're saying, this is the fourth time it's been adjusted since 1962.
I remember literally before, I've been saying literally too often. Bad. Before Corona, we would run out middle of the month and I'd be panhandling on Twitter for groceries every few days.
Yeah.
And it was demeaning, heartbreaking. People that I knew could use the money themselves would help me because they knew how it was going. Like, I don't want to ever have to do that again. And I don't think anybody should ever have to make that choice.
Now, I think the SNAP program is separate from food stamps, though, right?
No, it is literally food stamps.
Oh. See, I thought SNAP was like part of the commodities we used to get when I was a kid, too, like the peanut butter, the brick, the government cheese.
That's WIC.
That's WIC. Oh, okay.
It didn't used to be called SNAP. That's new, but it's still the same program.
So this is federal money. Well, and that's federal money. So every state has their own amount they add to it, right? I mean, it can't just be $200. I know people get way more than that.
It varies depending on what your income level is.
Right,
sometimes it's less. Sometimes it's a little bit more. The average amount, I'm sure, is what they're saying there for people. Your amount will increase by 25% depending on how much you qualified for. The average probably being the number they're listing there.
So,
because like you said, there is different requirements per state and all that sort of thing. It's regulated by state funding.
Well, and there's actually, I just saw a video on TikTok of all places where this young lady was being quarantined for 10 days because she's exposed to COVID like directly. And so they put in Washington State, they actually give you 10 days worth of food and supplies. They send it to your home. They sent toilet paper, paper towels, apples, lemons, cheese, lunch meat, bread, raw chicken, like fresh chicken breast, frozen chicken breast. So Washington State actually sends you like a care package if you get that, right? So some states are very, very generous and very humane, really, when they come to Washington State, man. Big ups to Washington State. Whoever put that program together needs to be rewarded significantly and recognized. So I'm actually going to do some research on that one. Let me write that down real quick. I got my little whiteboard here.
I like the idea of the state sending you gift baskets every week.
Right. I got to write that down. Yeah, so there's some states that's got their shit together and some just don't. Meanwhile, the rest of the country just doesn't. But yeah, this just shows you what they deem is necessary. Let's just say $200 a month total. Again, guys, this is for 4 people. 2 parents, 2 kids, or 1 parent and 3 kids, whatever it is. It's actually worse with 3 kids than it is with 2 parents because parents can be a little more.
And if you're both not working in Michigan, only one of you qualifies.
What a kick in the nuts, man.
Or I should say, yeah, you're both not working. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, so this just shows you how little they think it costs to live. I mean, I don't understand, man, but it is what it is, right? This is their system. And again, this is the first increase since 1962. I can't say that enough. 60 years, guys. 60 years almost.
Long overdue, insufficient, but tides begin to turn slowly. So we take this kind of news and we see it as portents of things to come if we continue to push and build that momentum, right?
And the child tax credit need to be permanent and keep improving these types of safety nets, to help people survive. Just flat out survive. It's not even thrive, just survive.
Yeah, thrive is UBI. That's the end goal.
Yes.
But we save who we can while we can on the way.
Well, I think I'd like to see them revisit the qualifications for SNAP as well, because enough people have been left behind. I think it said, I remember last year I saw a study that showed that I think only 60 to 70% of people who apply for SNAP actually get it. And 40% of those people who get rejected still should qualify. There's just been some paperwork error. That's all it is. So you got millions.
Honestly, remove the requirements.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, update them, man, and make them transparent and easy to understand.
I really don't think there should be any. How many people are going to apply for something they don't need with as busy as our lives are?
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. Yeah. Well, again, I'm big on universal programs. So if you apply for SNAP, you get it, and if you make too much money come tax returns, you claw it back. And I know that number is negotiable, but when people are struggling at the moment, they need to get help now, not next year when they qualify if they'd make less and da 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 da. These benefits are so delayed sometimes that you're going without quite a bit.
You lose your job, and it's not 2 months afterwards when you've gotten through the lines that you need help feeding your family.
Yeah,
it's that day. If you can automatically qualify and deal with it in taxes, then it doesn't matter if you were a Wall Street person making millions who suddenly now owes because of some bad investments and is in the hole $10,000. Yeah. That person could even need help the next day in our freaking winner takes all economy. Yeah. So let's make sure that anybody who gets kicked out onto the street because we have a cutthroat economy doesn't have to actually have their throat slit in the street.
Mm-hmm. Yep, fighting over resources. So if anybody knows who's responsible for this Washington State program, please put it in the comment section. I would love to know who that person is and invite them on. It's a legislator. I'd love to talk to an actual legislator that makes shit like this happen, that makes sense. I wish I could find that. If I can find that TikTok video, I will put the link in the description box when I make the clip of this. But she was very happy to say, hey, man, I have everything I need for 10 days. So I really do think this is a great program. And if one state can do it, so can they all, So no more excuses. And we got to get more forward-thinking people like this in charge of programs that help people. But yeah, if you guys know who this is, please comment and let us know. And let us know what you think about this in the comment section yourself. Do you qualify for these programs? Have you been excluded from the programs? How little did you make to get excluded from the program? I'd like to know that too, because, oh yeah, I made a whole, whatever, $22,000. Oh, that's too much. It's really insulting what they consider enough.
I'd also like to hear some of the other weird state loopholes so that I don't feel so bad about being in Michigan, because I'm sure there's plenty in Florida to make me feel great about living in Michigan.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, man. So yeah, guys, let us know what you think about this in the comment section. While you're here, of course, get a video like, hit subscribe, ring your notification bells, all that fun stuff. Thanks for joining us. We see you guys next time, and like always, go read a book. All right, cool. Yeah, I really want to know who this damn person is. Whoever made that happen should run for president. All right, and then this other one. Go ahead.
Should at least get some sort of empathy award.
Man, they should. Well, I can't give them the bad awards. I know I got our weekly. What's that medal I give out? The mental gymnastics medal.
Mental gymnastics, yeah.
I got to work on that. I got to work on. I might work with a Spider-Man. See if he can make me like a little. Here's your medal, like mental gymnastics gold medal for dipshit of the week or something. Yeah, that'd be fun. But so now we got computer models for ending global warming. Okay, I didn't get a chance to read this one either, so this will be we'll learn as we go. All right, you ready for the next one, Mia?
I actually need 2 seconds to figure something out.
Yep, go ahead.
No? I'm good? Okay. All right. I guess they don't need me. I guess my son was just sitting there tapping on my wall to be irritating.
That's what kids do.
All right.
Well, something else I found off topic here in Michigan, the teacher shortage is seriously bad. There's some schools that aren't even going to offer some classes because there's just not enough teachers. Because my girlfriend's a teacher and my friend Shelly's a teacher. My daughter's birthday is tonight or tomorrow. So we had a little birthday get together today at her mom's house. And her mom's best friend does, oh, Cheyenne, you are the best. Care Connect Washington. Okay, I'm gonna look that up, Cheyenne. I'm gonna find out who, or if you can, that'd be even better. But I'm gonna try and find out who wrote that policy. Who wrote that policy in Washington State? That's significant. But yeah, so like my ex-wife's best friend is a teacher, and she was talking about all these job openings in all the schools. And just in my hometown here, there's probably like 30 positions open throughout the school systems, either for bus drivers, lunch personnel, office personnel, and teaching aides, the whole 9 yards.
You know what's the worst part about a teacher shortage? Without, they can't exactly just adjust prices to get people to, because it takes a full tax change to increase wages, et cetera. You can't entice people with a quick change of wage or with added benefits or.
Yeah. Well, they are. They're trying. They're trying to find money that they're not normally spending because of COVID. And they're like, okay, you know what? We're not spending money here. We're going to move this money here. And they're actually giving people more incentives to come work. Like a substitute pay has gone up significantly. And so there's opportunities for people that, you know, if you want to teach, that's not like you just, jump and throw in your application. But yeah, the teaching shortage is real, man, where people are just retiring. The old timers, like, I'm not going through another year wearing this goddamn mask. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to go through another year risking my health when I'm in my 60s, on my twilight, and I'm like trying to enjoy retirement without getting COVID first, you know? So I understand it's a major, major shortage. And I think it's just going to get worse with other professions, healthcare specifically.
Yeah, I am very surprised by how intense the response to Delta actually is. Like, I thought it could get this bad, but you know, I also heard a lot of people saying there's not going to be people going back into lockdowns. Mask mandates aren't going to come up. You know, we're just past that. People won't do it, and to an extent that's true, and to an extent it's not. It's a weird mixed bag.
Yeah, well, Cheyenne is just killing it in the comments. So this is as of December 9th, 2020. And then she has another link here. Yeah, man, that's the whole article. Damn, girl. Shy is the producer. Shy, she's the best. You guys don't understand, man. Yeah, and actually, Cheyenne and Matt just covered a thing about Portland had a strike, the baker strike against Nabisco, and yeah, I'm really getting pretty excited about the strikes going on, where teachers are threatening the strike, nurses are threatening walkouts, which I'm kind of iffy on that one. But the nurses are being worked to death. They're going home crying. Their mental health matters. And that's where we're having that kind of overwhelming of the system, you know. Hail.
I don't mean to be smiling. I'm reading the comments there.
Yeah. Hail Queen producer Shay.
Overwhelmed versus is not funny. That's sad stuff there. Carnage is hilarious though.
Yes.
And quite kind.
Yes. All right, so let's go ahead and knock out this other one here. Computer models. Yeah, civilization. Cool. global warming. Awful. All right. Thanks for joining us. Blah, fuck you, boys. Sorry, Spider-Man. We're going to do something with that. I know he's going to do it. Damn it. He's going to get me. Shit. I know he's going to get me good. But yeah, guys, how's it go? Yeah. Let's see if we can change some minds again tonight. Mia, what's up last on the low?
Well, the last thing we're going to cover today is computer models of civilization offering routes to ending global warming. Some computer simulations of the world economy scientists have created have made some paths to cut greenhouse.
Yep.
You can't hear what I'm hearing. Okay.
Okay.
Computer simulations of the world economy scientists are using have created a path to cut greenhouse gas emissions to zero in 40 years. These simulations are called integrated assessment models. There are half a dozen major versions of them, 4 developed in Europe, 1 in Japan, and 1 in the US, at Pacific Northwest National Laboratory. And each of these models starts with data about current sources of greenhouse gas emissions, include cars and buses, auto rickshaws, airplanes, power plants, home furnaces, and rice paddies, and also include assumptions about international trade, prices, and the cost of new technologies as examples. Then the scientists force their virtual worlds to change course by introducing limits on greenhouse gas emissions. The models then try to satisfy that requirement in the most cost-effective way, as long as it's technologically feasible and doesn't run up against limits like the supply of land or other natural resources. The model found a way to meet that target, at least in scenarios where world governments were inclined to cooperate in meeting their Paris commitments. Different models using different assumptions arrive at contrasting visions of the future world, but they're all dramatically different from the situation today. It continues on a little bit there, but I think that's a good space for me to take a breather.
Well, some of these, let's talk about the models, how they actually set these things up. It says different models using different assumptions arrive at contrasting visions of the future world, but they're all dramatically different from the situation today. Some models show people responding to higher energy prices or government regulations by changing their lifestyles. They move to more energy-saving houses and give up their cars in favor of newer and better kind of public transit. In addition to traditional bus lines, autonomous vehicles respond like Uber, taking people where they need to go. Other scenarios show people still use plenty of energy, which in turn requires a huge boost in production of clean electricity. And it would mean 10 to 20 times more land covered with solar and wind farms compared to now, plus more power plants burning wood and other biofuels outfitted with equipment to capture and store the carbon dioxide that's released. And it just does not account for political obstruction and human preferences, which is we see how that goes. But people may just want to drive an expensive car rather than take public transit, even when the models say that's the choice isn't economically rational. But the models also can be far too pessimistic, in particular about technological innovations. 10 years ago, Van Vuren says they never anticipated the rise of cheap solar power. And here's a quote: "We have been in the extremely fortunate situation that the cost of renewables has declined rapidly in the past decade." So that's the thing. This is based upon all countries getting on board with the Paris Accord and constantly driving down their emissions. And our government is doing its part in changing regulations on emissions with vehicles. Governor Biden, President Biden actually has that thing about going 100% electric by 2030 for all government vehicles. That's why Nancy Pelosi bought millions of dollars in stock of Tesla. Insider trading much? Yes. But this shows that we can legislate better, I guess you'd say better incentives. So this is just showing that it is possible in 40 years to significantly decrease it, if not go down to zero. I would just like to see us commit more money into R&D, research and development for carbon capturing technology, like an air filter, if you will. That's still being worked on. I know MIT's got this thing going on about that where they're trying to have like a literal air filter with fans, and it just sucks the air in and captures carbon, which is pretty cool to think about. But we also got to consider that the more we go online with work, the more we go online with entertainment and industries, a higher demand for electricity. Also with I think they're not considering in this is cryptocurrency mining. If that keeps going up, man, the demand's going to significantly skyrocket. So that's something I don't think they included, but it'd be cool to see what they think about that too, because Bitcoin is very, very energy dependent.
That's true. It might be included in trade if they're considering it at all. That would be probably the category it would end up in. I think that it's important, though, that we have just at least the knowledge that there is a path. So that way, when you talk to somebody and they say there's not really even a point at this stage, we're past the tipping point, you can be like, that's not true. There's something to fight for. It may be unlikely, but there is a path out of this, and we need to do everything we can to get as close to that path as we can, as quickly as we can. So there's a reason to fight, and that is hope. And hope is good.
Well, and technological advances are astronomical when they happen. So if they ever figure out how to get like these, I guess they're called like these little personal drones. Instead of taking a taxi in a car, you go up and over with a drone rooftop to rooftop. In LA, they have like a people that are doing these things in Japan and Tokyo and LA. They're trying to work on these human drones that you get in it and it takes like up to 4 people, and it has these little powerful motors, and you go up and over and you land it on a different rooftop instead of going through the streets.
Oh gosh!
If that stuff takes off, which isn't going to happen quick, right? So a decade's a long time now, though. A lot of shit happens in a decade. A lot of shit happens in 1 year. So
just think of the parkour.
Yeah. But if we had a commitment in this country to electric high-speed rails, that's a major change. Less flights in the air, which is very, very fuel intensive, a flight. Same thing with electric propulsion for airplanes. That's another one. They haven't quite figured that out because they're quite heavy. But it is possible. And I think this is at least an indication that there is time. We can do it, but we just can't keep acting like it's not there. There is a tipping point, like you're saying, where things are bad right now. There's record fires in Central Africa right now that no one's even talking about. The Amazon's on fire. The Pacific Northwest is on fire. Idaho is on fire. I mean, come on, man. These are traditionally places that are so lush and green and full of moisture that there is no fires. And now it's so dry because you had this record heat in the Northwest where you had like 70-something people dying from heat exhaustion, heat stroke or whatnot, and dehydration, where 110 degrees in Portland does not go okay, and Seattle, Washington, not okay. People are dying. And I think it's in Canada, they're losing their permafrost.
Yeah, there was another article that I was reading on the political end of this, where even the Republican Party is pretty much being like, well, yeah, I guess climate change is real. Their new, well, let's still not do anything about it thing, though, is it would be too harmful to the economy to do anything about it because, the planet warming up to the point where humans are dying and people are suffering is certainly less important than making sure that Wall Street is, prioritized.
What kills me is people live in like Louisiana and Florida, coastal cities of the South, should be significantly concerned about rising sea levels. If the sea levels rise by 2 feet, this many feet, guys, Florida is just a marsh. The entire state is a bog, a saltwater bog. It's over. The whole state's underwater. The whole state's underwater.
I feel so terrible for Florida. Like, there's the meme makes it like so that people hear the word Florida and they laugh. But if you think about what the people are going through down there,
Mm-hmm.
our held hostage fellow progressives, the people trying to change things there, the hell they're going through, it's really, and the children who don't have a choice because their parents live there and just aren't caring.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part that like Florida's a joke, but it's not a joke. It's not funny.
Well, and you have I can't remember where it was in Texas. It said that there's a hospital just went public and said, "Listen, guys, we have 0 beds for pediatric ICUs. Period. If your child has a heart condition, they have to wait for another kid to die." Literally, he said that. Like, that's how serious this is, and yet, my freedom, man. Fuck your so-called freedom, man. Your so-called fake freedom, your fake patriotic bullshit is over. This phony baloney freedom. It just, people hide behind that term so much. When we have the freedom, you have the freedom, sure, but you don't have the right. You don't have the right to endanger other people and private businesses. You don't have the right to endanger students and teachers and faculty at schools. You don't have that right. You have the freedom to stay your punk ass home. Do online schooling if you don't like it. Don't expect us who get vaccinated to stay home and be online. Fuck that shit. This is our country.
Yeah. As a general rule, and it doesn't all, like, there are surely exceptions to it, but the way I try to analyze things, no, what's the right thing to do and what's the wrong thing to do? What has the most potential for good with the least potential for harm?
Mm-hmm.
The least potential for harm, wearing a mask. That's not going to hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to hurt me much. But even if I were wrong, it's not going to hurt anybody else much either for me to wear the mask.
Right.
But if I am wrong and I'm an anti-masker, me choosing to go ahead and protect other people anyways is going to have a maximum amount of potential good. So,
and
like,
these people are endangering your son directly.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
people like you in your situation, period. They're endangering people like you and your family directly for their phony freedoms. They can kiss my fucking ass. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being nice. I'm trying to reach across the aisle. Fuck that. It's over. You motherfuckers have just been excommunicated, as far as I'm concerned, from civilized humans, because you're a Neanderthal at best. I mean, you've got to wake the fuck up. Trump is not president still. Sorry. Friday the 13th came and went. Pillow guy.
Even when he was president, this still wasn't okay.
That's right. That's
okay.
Yeah. And Biden is your president. I don't tell you people, man. This is the reality we live in. There's some people just deny reality for their own personal feelings of freedom, their illusion of freedom. It's an illusion, man.
Completely
and to endanger
unrelated.
People, what's that?
Completely unrelated to the COVID stuff. I didn't want to bring it up because it's just like a little bit of fear mongering to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
But like DHS is Department of Homeland Security, not Department of Human Services, is on alert about the potential for mask mandates to start causing Trump violence to start reemerging. So,
well,
yeah, they need to get over it at some point and stop making everybody step on eggshells around them for fear of their mental health while we're all about ready to crack too.
Yeah. I don't know, guys. I don't know what else to do with this, because we have people getting fake vaccine cards. We have people getting fake masks. And then at the same time saying that global warming is fake when a third of the planet is on fire. Literally in the places that has never been before. Record heat, record flooding, record fires. And denial of reality is just, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know how you're going to make it, but you're not going to make it very long. So it's just disappointing. Greatest country on this planet, my ass.
Has not been that for quite some time.
No, it has not.
Like I was 14 or 15 having people tell me that and being like, according to what measures? I'm 37 now. That's a couple decades of according to what?
Yeah, and who is it great to and for? So it's not all encompassing. But yeah, I don't know, guys. Just let us know what you think about this in the comments section, man. This was a real bummer as far as like we can change this thing. Just we have to have the political fortitude to do it and demand better of our elected officials. So if you have an elected official in your district that you live in that's a science denier, get them out. Period. You can't kick that can down the road no more, man. You got to get them out. You got to get out there, knock on doors, do whatever you got to do. Get them the hell out.
Even with local people like that you don't think have a huge effect on things, 10 years down the road, that person qualifies to run for something in Congress.
Yep.
Because now they've got experience. Remember why they wouldn't let Andrew Yang in?
Yeah.
He doesn't have the experience. Some cruddy anti-masker gets into city council right now, does that for 2-3 years, and then runs for senator.
Yep. Runs for a county board position, then a state, then a senate. That we got to cut this thing off at the start. So just get out there, guys. Do what you can, and make sure we don't have ignorant ass publicly elected officials more than we already do. We've already got enough of them to really put a hindrance on advancing this country in the right direction, flat out. But yeah, guys, let us know what you think about that in the comments section. While you're here, of course, give the video a like, hit subscribe, ring notification bells for upcoming videos. And thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next time. And like always, go read a book. Cool. Now, on a side note, did you hear about the anti-trans rally in LA?
No, I did not. That's very sad.
So Proud Boys show up with baseball bats, pepper spray, and knives and stab people. This one guy ran up behind a reporter or like filming with the guy had a helmet on, thankfully, with a pipe and hit him in the back of the head with a pipe. Luckily, the guy had a helmet on. Then he ran around, he's like, "What's up? What's up?" And he runs away like a bitch. And this guy, this is all. There's a whole thread. I gotta find that and share it with you guys. There's a thread on Twitter of this guy that was there and used their own live stream against them. And paused and said, "Do you know this person? Look at see, he has a thing where his guy's hands up. He has a knife right there, and he's actually stabbing at this person. He stabbed this one photographer or videographer or a journalist in the thigh, a trans activist in the thigh, and he actually stabbed one of his own ladies in the arm on accident trying to get to him. And it's all on video. So stuff like that's happening. Like you were saying earlier during our other segment, is they're being emboldened more. And unfortunately, I think this is going to come down to violence is going to meet violence. And you're going to have a real problem. There's going to be a massive shooting somewhere of either one side or the other. I'm not saying one side's more than likely the other. I'm just saying if they
one side is literally more than likely to. Like, I mean, by the fact that one side has more of the arms than the other does. Let's be fair statistically.
Yeah, but let's also be realistic. If you keep fucking poking at the bear, you're going to get hurt. And right now, you're fucking with people that are not armed in the trans community, or the representatives are right, and they're not armed. Sooner or later, that shit's going to come back, and they're going to set you up, and they're going to take you out, flat out. Cops have had it happen to them. If it can happen to the police, it can, and that happened to the military serving overseas. It sure to hell can happen here on the streets in the United States, where your face is on every social media platform, saying all kinds of bigoted, racial, transphobic, homophobic bullshit, and then you're stabbing people, and you got a bat that says Trump on it, man. Fuck you.
That's pretty much advertisement that you're the enemy. Yes.
Yes, you are a domestic terrorist. Canada has labeled the Proud Boys as domestic terrorists. Why is the country not labeling the Proud Boys as domestic terrorists amongst the other ones? I think Biden administration actually did it. Label. Who was that? I think we covered it a while back. It's probably a long time ago. It's probably like damn near 5-6 months ago, though. But they actually included. Let me think. There's Proud Boys. the 3%ers. I think it's the Oath Keepers. They labeled as a domestic terrorist group or something, but they all are part of January 6th. Should be considered a hate groups and domestic terrorist groups. So they're still doing this shit. This is in California, and these people are out there with full riot gear on. Well, they have a GoPro mounted for footage for recruiting later, probably pepper spray, knives, and bats. So that's the kind of shit that's going on right now. And that's just a small group. Proud Boys are not big in numbers. We have the numbers.
No, it's definitely not about the numbers. It's about terror. That's why they're terrorists. It's not about they think they can win. It's about making us feel like we can still lose.
Mm-hmm. Well, all we got to do is, here's my thing, though. They showed up for a rally. Everybody showed up to counter protest. Fuck them. Ignore them. What they want is this interaction. They want this interaction. I will never show up to a Proud Boy thingy to give them any kind of interaction. I'd be there to record it. That's for damn sure. But I am not there to interact with these motherfuckers, give them any kind of wind in their sails. That's all everyone. It's just clout chasing fucking wannabe punks. It just really frustrates me that who are they going after? The trans community.
A good number of them, if you confront them outside of these situations, will deny being serious about any of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like, I do it for the lulz. That's funny.
They're bullies. Just like all bullies, they're punks when they're one-on-one. They're wet their britches, flat out. Most of them will just pucker up and wither. Then you got these big psychopaths that always are armed and shit, ready to kill somebody. They're psychopaths. They should be treated that way. But yeah, man, I just thought I just want to throw it out there real quick before you end it. But there's some really fucked up shit going on, man. I wanted to bring that thread up, but I didn't have time to get that ready. It was my daughter's birthday's tomorrow, so I had to get ready today and do all this shit for her birthday today, and didn't have time to prepare like I'd like to. But it is what it is, right? We do what we can with what we got.
Hey, last week I had to just ditch out on you, so I felt bad about that. So
well, that's okay. Who was it? Someone jumped in. Damn it, I can't remember who it was. Someone jumped in for you on Sunday last week. I can't remember who it was. I feel horrible. Ugh, it's just last week. But yeah, someone stepped up. POTUS for Us. That's his name on TikTok. POTUS for Us. Really smart guy, man. It's on the channel. But yeah, he's good people. But yeah, so people always step up, so things happen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, things happen, man. And tonight, honestly, I just didn't want to do it tonight. I wanted to just chill. Been a long weekend, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go. Sometimes you just don't have the energy. I felt like I just didn't have any energy today at the end of a long weekend, but it doesn't take that much effort on my part. And thank you for helping organize all the
always stuff, happy to help however I can.
But yeah, guys, so we're gonna keep doing our thing. Again, Basic Income March is coming up next month. Sign up, show up. If you can't show up, donate and help someone else get there. If you can't donate, volunteer for a local politicians running for Congress or something, right? Or county and phone bank, text bank. Do something, guys. You got to just do something, anything, right? Sharing content, stuff like that, helping us get the word out. That also helps,
Keep your eyes out for that Watt app, too, that was going around last time. Scott Stanton was sharing it during the last Income March. You can download that app on your phone and walk for causes, and that'll help. It's a little something you can do. Take your dog for a walk and walk for basic income if it's available.
Absolutely. I like that. I forgot about that. That's a good one. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys joining us tonight, man. We'll do it again next Sunday, of course. But then, so tomorrow, I was going to have a panel discussion, but it's my daughter's birthday. I have to go do something with the kids tomorrow. But on Tuesday, we have our live stream is going to be the Q&A with the virologist I had on before, Chelsea. We're going to talk about the Delta variant, them recommending a third booster shot, and do like a Q&A thing. Like my question is how they know where Delta's at, because they test you positive, negative. It doesn't test you for positive for Delta. So I want to talk us through like how they determine which strand is in the area type of thing. And then there's a lot of fear around the Lambda one, right? So I'm going to ask her stuff like that on Tuesday. We're going to do a live stream. It's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then on Wednesday, I'm doing one with the Michigan Department of Veterans Affairs is doing like a live stream fundraiser for a monument that was destroyed because of record flooding, you know. Oh yeah, Crystal, I know they do genomic testing, but I'm just saying I want her to walk us through the process. You know, like, okay, how they know a new strand's here. They do genome testing, right? But I wanted us to kind of give us the idea of how that process works out and how
Things
accurate
like
it is, how
what's
fast.
the sample size for an area, for a state, for a county, to know how dense it is, that kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just kind of walk us through, like, give us more information. What's it like? And because I've heard people say, well, they can't. How are they going to? They test us. That tells us we're positive, but they're making us scared that it's delta, delta, delta. But it comes to a point where, yeah, because when they do random testing, they send it into the lab and they keep statistics, guys. And at first, Florida had less than 10% of delta. A week later, it was 30%. You know, a week later, it's over half. Like it's obvious, right? So, well, Delta has been in Sydney for a few months now. First proper lockdown we've had. Yeah, I've heard about that too, where you guys had to go into full lockdown again because of Delta. Same thing in India. Isn't in India first? I interviewed that young man that's a student where they had like the black mucus
Yeah,
drainage
it was
from his nose.
a mold that is
Yes.
rather common and around, but for some reason in India decided to attach itself to the immunocompromised from having had COVID or from having COVID actively.
Well, it's also because they have over 1.3 billion people, and they don't have enough oxygen. So if they can't get oxygen, they give you steroids. Steroids kills your immune system. If it kills your immune system, you can't fight off the natural molds in the air and funguses. So you have a natural mold and fungus growing in your nasal passages. And in India, the people were going blind because it would get into their where their nerves are at and stuff. You know, so ear, nose, and throat will all be infected with a fungal, viral, moldy, whatever the fuck, you know. And so it is really bad over there.
Making my nose itch just thinking about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Ugh.
They test our sewerage also. This is to find out if it's spreading before we get tested. See, I'm not sure if that's the right word. I think you may have had a typo, maybe. Sewerage. Sounds like somebody saying it. Our sewerage.
I think she means sewage, like the sewer systems.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense though.
No, they test sewer systems in a lot of the denser areas all the time.
Really?
You can
for illnesses.
For illnesses, for metal contents, for like anything. They run the whole gamut just because they have it and they might as well if they are going to take the sample anyways.
Yes, toilet waste. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Shit, man. The more you know, right?
And I think that's how they determined how many species of rats there are in New York, for example, and what border lines they're on. Like, there's just a whole bunch of really weird data you can get off of a sewer system.
Outstanding. Yeah. But yeah, guys, so Delta's here, man, and there's a projection map too that shows it all the way down to Zeta, where if this thing keeps mutating at its current rate, we'll have 26 variants by whatever month that would be, right? On the current course.
I'm gonna be a hermit forever, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll be forever at risk with my job, flat out with healthcare. So it'd be a personal favor to me if you all get vaccinated, because especially here in Michigan, we need to get this thing under control. It's really bad. But I actually went out and collected signatures for Governor Whitmer to get back on the ballot for 2022. She needs 30,000 signatures to get on the ballot again, which is weird in Michigan. They got to get 30,000 signatures every time they run for election, even if they're being reelected.
Have one passed along my way. I'll make sure to sign.
Yeah, they're around.
I'm good with Governor Whitmer. She was fine.
Yeah. She's done what she could.
She could get vocal about UBI, and I'd support her even more. But She was good about making sure like things like the food stamp benefits got increased and extra payments were made. And she kept people as best as she could with the resources she had available.
Right.
She did a good job.
Yeah, that's what we're up against, guys. We got to have proper leadership. You know, she's not perfect, but she's the best we got. I'll tell you that right now. But yeah, so I'm just trying to do stuff like that to help, you know, locally here. So if you guys could do the same, that'd be great. Make sure you get good candidates on the ballots, man. Get out there. If you can't give, donate your time. If you can't leave the house, do what you can online, right? There's always something we can do to make things better. But yeah,
Erica
guys,
Rose.
go ahead and what's that? Yeah, Erica
Rose.
Rose, Reverend Wendy
Erica
Hamilton. Yes, ma'am. But yeah, guys, thanks for joining us. We're going to kill it, and I'm gonna get to work on this edit and get some thumbnails made and all that good stuff with Super Spider-Man. Hopefully, you don't dog me out too much for being a goofball that time. All right, guys. Thanks again, Mia. Talk to you guys later.